Hello, everyone. Here's your weather hazard briefing for Wednesday, April 16th. Our next system moves in starting today, and that brings back some cooler conditions, especially starting tomorrow on the cooler conditions anyway. Some breezy and wet conditions are on its way as well. The bulk of the moisture falls later today and through Thursday, but some of that lasts into Friday, especially south of the State Plain. There'll be some wind around, so some blowing dust is certainly possible in a few typical spots for this time of year, and also a few thunderstorms. It looks like the best thunderstorm chance will probably be today. Saturday is dry, but once we get to Sunday and beyond the end of the holiday weekend, more precipitation and a little bit of wind is on its way, but at least we'll be warming up a little bit during that period. Satellite shows a system moving in from the north, and that actually will develop a closed low that drops across western Idaho over the next couple of days. Their surge low pressure to the south tries to phase in with that, move back to the northeast with it, but it actually, the bulk of it anyway, will pass to the south and to the east of us, at least that part of this storm system. Weather risk outlook matrix. We do have some minor impacts highlighted over the next few days. Just some wind, some showers and thunderstorms, a little bit of blowing dust in a few spots. And tomorrow, some morning snow around, switching over to at least a rain snow mix in the afternoon in the lower elevations. It will be breezy as well. And where we don't get a lot of moisture, probably a little bit of blowing dust still remaining. We go into Friday, some light snow lingering as well, and then more, like I said, precipitation returning on Sunday, the end of the holiday weekend, for those that are celebrating, and even a few thunderstorms coming through our area. Looking at where we're going to be at those wind gusts this afternoon. Generally out of the west and southwest, those gusts around 30 to 35 miles per hour. Up into Montana, though, they're all already will be switching out of the north and northwest up north towards Dillon in that direction. And temperatures for today, we're looking at generally low 70s, 60s, low 70s over the lower elevations. We'll be seeing some 50s up in some of those higher valleys like Stanley, Copper Basin, places like that. For this evening and tonight, we do have that moisture moving in, and some light snow will begin falling in the higher elevations. We'll see that kind of dropping into some of the lower middle valley elevations later on tonight. Very light precipitation expected. Any real accumulating snow stays up in southwest Montana, also up into Limhi County as well. And those wind gusts do continue overnight. As we go through the period, they'll be west to southwest, starting to switch out of the north in some spots, especially get into tomorrow, a little bit tonight, but into tomorrow as well. And that's when we'll really start to see the winds kind of taper off for the Snake Plain overnight, but those winds coming out of the central mountains and coming across the divide, they'll remain over 30 miles per hour. And also some pretty strong westerly winds down across the Magic Valley into the South Hills and Albion Mountains, where some of those gusts will be in excess of 40 miles per hour. And that precipitation tomorrow morning and tomorrow afternoon, you can see a little light snow spreading even through the Magic Valley and the Snake Plain tomorrow morning. So a little bit of could impact our commute. It'd be a wet snow, likely would be melting once we get later into the day. But again, the bulk of the snow stays up in Montana and also stays over to the Tetons and the big holes by tomorrow afternoon as well. There are those wind gusts starting to strengthen still out of the west once you get down towards Burley and Oakley. Out of the north and northwest, once you get into the central mountains coming out of Montana, those gusts in many areas in excess of 40 miles per hour. And that's where we might see some blowing dust as well, especially coming up north of Idaho Falls as well, coming across some of the drier spots in the upper plain and coming out of the central mountains. Going into temperatures for Thursday, temperatures tonight pretty much staying above freezing along the 84-86 corridor, also down towards the Utah border. Teens and 20s up to the north, and even some of the Arco Desert areas flirting right at freezing. But look at those high temperatures on Thursday. And really nobody except maybe down along the Utah border over in the Magic and Treasure Valleys getting out of the 40s for highs tomorrow afternoon. So definitely a big change from what we've had recently. And going into tomorrow night, into Friday, early Friday, just some light snow lingering, especially over the southeast corner. Those winds do start to trickle down a little bit, diminish a little bit, but still some gusts 30 to 40 up north, coming out of the north and northwest as well. And those gusts closer to sunrise Friday, still running about 25 to 35 miles per hour. And like I said, any moisture lingering is going to be very light across the southeast corner, maybe a brief little burst of snow up around the Pocatello area very early Friday morning. Above a half an inch. Let's keep the little bit of snowpack around, kind of add to our yearly precipitation, at least since the end of last summer. Going into the fall, that precipitation will fall. It's not a huge amount, but is something to kind of keep things going a little bit. Temperatures on Friday still right around freezing along 84, 86, and 15. Teens and 20s elsewhere. We'll finally see some temperatures trying to push into the low 50s on Friday. Saturday, even warmer conditions, 50s and 60s in the lower elevations for afternoon highs, low 70s once you get over into the Treasure Valley. And with that next system coming in on Sunday, not looking at precipitation totals just yet, but you can see overnight lows closer to 40 in some area in the warmer spots, and afternoon highs running around 50 to 60, a few low 60s across our area. So once again, we've got rain and snow coming back later today. There'll be a few thunderstorms around and certainly some gusty winds and some blowing dust, especially up north of Idaho Falls, and probably anywhere we really have some bare fields. We've been had some flying recently. That blowing dust will be an issue. And like I said, this system really impacts us through Friday. Saturday, it's dry, and the next system comes in for Sunday. Beyond that, not a lot of moisture with each system, but just enough to kind of keep adding to any rainfall amounts and what snowpack we have left here in central and eastern Idaho. Have a great day and do stay safe out there, everyone.